Hey, I don't care if it's shade. I don't care if it's sun. I don't care what it is. It's got to be better than whatever the hell this East Coast that most of us are living on. Like, is anybody in Minneapolis right now dealing with this shit? Is anybody in Houston dealing with this shit? Is anybody in New Mexico all the way to Big Sur, California? I know Cali's got their own wildfires they got to deal with, but are we, Ben Raza, the only people right now in this Northeast corridor, if you will? I mean, how far south does this shit go? Are we talking Maryland? Are we talking South Carolina? Does this thing reach as far down as Florida? Why does it feel like we are the only ones in this one area? And that's my first question. My 1A is, why did I only find out about this shit yesterday and not like 2 weeks in advance?
A lot of questions in there. I don't have many answers. I can just tell you this. It's bad here. Sky is like orange. So yeah, everyone. The one positive, everything's like you got to stay inside, no problem. That's not going to be an issue. Yeah. But other than that,
before COVID, you were good.
Yeah. I've been training for this my whole life, so it's really not a big deal. But yeah, man, nasty out there. We got betting to do though. We're gonna be just fine. A lot to get to. We got game 3 tonight.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Do we have any risk of any baseball being canceled as a result of this? Do you know?
I don't think the Yankees. I mean, I haven't heard this. This is just my opinion. I don't think the Yankees can play in this. Like, it is.
I mean, I can't think the Phillies would either.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you couldn't. I'm pretty sure the MLB, from what I read, they have it's not a end all be all, but basically air quality. If it gets over 200. You wouldn't play, and in the city right now it's over 300. So it seems like if it stays like this, you couldn't play.
Here's the biggest question that I think everybody on this show has: is we have more people filing in, and we appreciate y'all big time. And look, it's 7 minutes away, so we're gonna have to hit this right away and then get into some NBA, because I think there are gonna be live sweat opportunities on the tool. But as far as this weekend, that's really what matters in Ben Raza's house. Like, if the Belmont for whatever reason could not run, I'm just saying, like, I want you to prepare for the worst. I want you to truly, you at home is no problem. You at home with no Belmont. That's a scene right out of The Shining.
It'll be fine. Yeah, it's as bad as it can be right here. Being outside in New York for 24 hours is the equivalent of smoking 6 cigarettes. Yeah, that can't be good. Look, we out here.
I mean, to be fair though, that was pre-wildfire.
That was smoke. Now
exactly. I mean,
that's how you set the bar normally.
Exactly right. Let's not act like these cities that are being attacked by the wildfire smoke were beacons of anti-pollution by any means, right?
It was nice up.
I mean, this is like, Ben, this is like me eating a cupcake and saying, okay, now this is it. Like, everything that's the reason why I look like, come on. We got to keep this thing moving here. All right.
That's fair.
Live sweats. You ready?
No, I'm not ready. What, Padres? I know a lot of people at the Padres game. So shout out to my boys that are there. But what are you doing? You got to play before the plays?
Yes, and if anybody tailed the parlay of the day today, it was on BetMGM, and one of the legs was Fernando Tatis going over 1.5 total bags. So that's what I have. That's still up there on FanDuel. 2+ hits. Pardon me. FanDuel has 2+ hits. So that's up there. I was just looking to see if we can get a little N or YRFI play in here. That's all.
Well, you tell me. That's not my domain. That's your domain. There were a couple of bets.
Yeah.
I looked earlier just to see. There were a few things that popped out in this game. Honestly, nothing that I thought really needed to be on the card. Pretty uneventful game, if you ask me, but it is a 4:10 start, so it'll be during the show.
I'm just looking to see real quick, because, as things get tighter, maybe there's a little bit of width, even if it's like 0.5%. But I'm just seeing if the total is up here. Like, do we have a play on the? We don't really have a plus EV play, it looks like, so far on the total for this game, right?
No, where the market is pretty
okay.
Unanimous that the total is correct.
Okay. So From there, why don't we do this? Why don't we have some fun here? Because I knew that. What do we have? 4 minutes. All right. Then we'll get right into the NBA. It's back. It's big time. We're not going to take 4 minutes to do this. I said we had 4 minutes to place a bet. Trust me, I'm not going to go in this for 4 minutes. But first inning, okay, we're talking about Seattle and San Diego. I mean, they're pretty much at a half run. There's no real edge here. You may get an edge in the second inning. So YRSI. Are you familiar with this bet?
No, I can't say that I am. Did you just make that up?
No, this is actually a bet, and it's one that I will be placing.
Very
yes, there will be a run in the second inning. Okay, second inning.
Very strategic. Sounds legit.
Look,
Very
if anybody
good.
else wants to come sweat, let's do it. All right,
It's
you've
smart
got 3
because
minutes until first pitch.
you just tell them YRSI and just leave it ambiguous. And then if it doesn't hit in the second, just say you meant the sixth. And if it doesn't hit in the sixth, just say you meant the seventh. And you got three. You got 3 shots at it, and you'll look like a genius.
Second inning over under half runs plus 112 over. All right, no if ands, Ben. I can't push this thing to any other inning. All right, it's going to be the second inning, and it's going to be the live sweat. All right, and I'm putting a half unit on this, and I suggest you all out there do the same. I've researched this.
You have? Have you researched it? It seems like you have. I like that.
All right.
Well, we're going to sweat it during the show.
Yeah. I mean, I am. You're not betting this. This is like the last.
No, I'm not betting today. This. You're right. You're right, my friend.
Right? Like, you will not bet this. Ben Rasa will not bet this. No. Doesn't matter how many of you will bet this. He will not. All right. Let's look at the NBA tonight. Here's my question before we hit the tool. Here's my question. And I always love doing this with you. Trying to find that balance. You're a math guy. You're a graph guy. You're a numbers guy, rightfully so. A lot of that dictates what we do here. Where do you find that Venn diagram of realistic to outside the box that can actually happen? Like Jimmy Butler dropping 40 and the Heat win. Okay, makes sense. Nikola Jokic dropping 30 and the Nuggets win. Makes sense. Michael Porter Jr. dropping 25 and Denver wins. Now you're going to have to kind of convince me. I'm willing, right? But that's what I'm saying. Like, where do you see that realm of realistic yet also pushing the envelope? Because as we know, the favorites and the favorite bets don't always hit all the time.
No, of course not. It's not. I think the distinction is one that's, when you step back, it's super simple, but it's lost a lot. It's all about the odds that you're getting. Like, you know, the Heat to sweep the series. Well, obviously it's 1-1 now, but let's step back. Say the series is starting. Heat to sweep the series. Did I think that was going to happen? No. Did I think there was even a remote chance of that happening? No. If you gave me $1,000,000 to 1 on it, would I bet it? Obviously. It would be an amazing bet. That it could happen, and it's all about the odds. Like, so you give me some of these alt lines, a guy like, Caldwell Pope tonight, a Duncan Robinson, someone steps up and explodes. Could that happen? Definitely. You just want to make sure we're getting paid off for it, because we know the probability on some of these is very low. So we need to make sure we've secured the upside if we're going to do it.
That's a good point too, especially using a guy like KCP who was popping a little earlier.
Yeah, he was not good in that last game.
No, he was not. But we actually have him still as a plus EV bet. Now, the good news is that you have a bunch ahead of him right there at the top. Number one, I put this in the 5 and 5 earlier today. It's a nice little 3-leg parlay that I created using same game parlay that I created using the tool, the OddsShopper premium tool. You get a week free. This is done on Monday. If I may digress for a second here, we've been given a definitive day now, Ben. This thing is done. Like, the free week is done on Monday.
It's true. I mean, listen, we've been running this for a long time. I know a lot of you. We have a lot of new people here. We want to showcase what we're doing. We want to, the market-based approach. Eytan, you use it. I use it. The free trial is there. It's for 7 days, no strings attached, but it is ending. You've got a couple more days to access it, and we really want to make sure you're aware of it. It doesn't mean, of course, you have to do it. Right. But what we don't want, of course, is someone on Tuesday or Wednesday of next week saying, oh, I really want to see these tools for a free trial. It's not going to be available. So if you want to take advantage, the link is below. It's in chat. We got you covered, and you can follow along on the show today.
Okay, we go back here. Max Strus is what I was saying earlier
Max
here. So
Strus.
that's over 2.5 plus 145. True odds are 133. You're getting a nice little break on Unibet. But the reality is, if it's Strus over 2.5 threes, Jamal Murray, which is a big number. I mean, you're laying nearly 2-1 as far as the true odds are concerned, at least minus 170 for a lot of people pending your bankroll and all that. That's not a bad bet solo. When you get up to 2-1, people start forcing in parlays, things like that. And Gabe Vincent over 3.5 assists, which I also really like. I mean, you look at the true odds there, 106. Strus, I mean, look, the guy was on his way to knocking down 10 threes in game 2 and did he even hit a 3 after the first quarter? Maybe
so,
1.
Yeah, he was 3 for 3 immediately, and he finished in the game. He took 10 shots in the game, and all 10 were threes. He was 4 of 10 from the field and 4 of 10 from 3. I thought the interesting thing was he still didn't, even though he had a really good start to that game, he did not close. He only played 29 minutes, but the majority of them were in the first half. So Spoelstra still is using a lot of fluidity within the game.
So this is where I think you get to toe a line a little bit, right? Was it toe the line, walk the line? What was the movie? Walk hard, not walk hard.
No, walk the line is something. That's with Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay. The dude that's not from the Bryan Cranston show. So I think in this case, and we're underway.
From Gladiator.
Yeah, I know. I told you that I was watching this stupid Bryan Cranston show on Showtime for the whole year, and I'm thinking that it was Joaquin Phoenix, and it was really some Joaquin Phoenix doppelganger.
Tim Watley over here. What are you doing?
No, we're underway. By the way, we're underway in San Diego. Okay, so if you've tailed the parlay of the day, you got wait
the second inning.
I'm just saying, we also have Tatis. Like, Tatis may go over his prop in the first. You never know. I could use a double here. But your point, though, which I think is valid about Strus not closing, he is such a microwave with offense that this specific market for this specific player, you almost don't need typical allocated minutes. Like, he could play the same allotment of time and get over this in a half's worth. We're not looking, and I think that's realistic for Strus. Look, points, rebounds, other markets, I get it. Even for other guys, I get it. But in this case, I think, yes, we don't need to rationalize because the tool's telling us this is a great book, a great bet on a book. But Max Strus over 2.5 also, I think, can work around any constraints, as you correctly alluded to in last game. And they're home as well. So who knows how much that changes.
Yeah, they're home. And you listen, you're getting the right price at plus 143. This is not supposed to cash over 50% of the time. You don't need it to. But you mentioned, it's like when guys, you see this sometimes during the regular season. You have a bench player, there's an injury, and he gets put into the starting lineup, and you think, oh, this is great. Like more opportunities. It's actually less. Because, when he's on that second unit, he's taking all the shots. And Strus is the type of guy, even in limited minutes, he's going to be very aggressive. He's going to have open threes. He's going to take those threes. And if he makes those threes, obviously, then we're in business tonight.
All right. I like it. Now, what about I'm not going to get crazy with you yet. Yeah, rebounds over 11.5 points were popping earlier. I think that's flipped a little bit. I think Jokic rebounds, that assist did not hit last time. Caleb Martin. All right. I think Jokic, unless you're going to touch this Jamal Murray, the Murray props are unders. On the road, game 3. I don't know, man. The first 2 games, pretty much the takeaway for me is that it doesn't matter where this series is played. If Denver lost tonight, I would not say that they're cooked. They could easily bounce back and have enough to win game 4. It wouldn't shock anybody on this planet. So I'm not going into it with the mindset of like, oh my God, Denver has to win. Like, I know they get it. It'd be nice to win.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to touch these unders? They're good bets. They're really good bets, but you don't have to bet them, especially if you're looking at volume or anything else that you saw in the first 2 games from Murray that you're thinking, okay, it's a good opening here, but that doesn't mean I have to take it.
I mean, listen, if I can find minus 170 somewhere, and that you're talking about a minus 193 true odds, which is kind of that consensus value, I'm fine with that. I'll tell you though, the Denver prop that has me most interested is Jokic over 11.5 rebounds on FanDuel at minus 128. I think that's a low variance prop. He's obviously going to be out there a ton. They out rebounded Miami in game 2. If Miami shoots less than 100% from 3, which is what it seemed like they shot in game 2, a lot of rebounding opportunities for Jokic. I think he clears that with ease. The line is good. Look across the market, look at the tool, you'll see you can't find that line anywhere but FanDuel. I think the Jokic over 11.5 boards is my favorite prop.
That's a big one, man. I think a lot of Jokic tonight depends on how close you see this game, right? Like, I don't think Denver walks in and blows out Miami, although I wouldn't be shocked either side. Miami blowing out Denver, it's going to be hard for me to think of that. Like, as close, the closer this game is, my point is, the more Jokic on the floor, the more he's hitting probably like 40, 45, 50, 55 PRA range.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to play 40 plus minutes basically in every single scenario. Whether they get blown out, blow them out or not, like he's going to play major minutes. He's obviously going to have, he's a walking triple double, never mind the 11.5. So I'm pretty happy with that. Again, not all over. It's about getting it on FanDuel. I'm not going to take this on another site where the break even is worse than the consensus line.
Yep. I think you make a good point about where you're getting it as opposed to just betting it. By all means, 12 rebounds, you would think, no problem there. I don't know how much people want to push that. Caleb Martin is a guy that we're just up and down on across 8.5 points, although there isn't as much width in this compared to the rebounds or the 3-pointers. Well, rebounds are fine. I don't have a problem with that by all means, but this just feels like, I think Kevin Love and Caleb Martin props, depending on how you play them, can coexist. I wouldn't be shocked if you did see at home. At some point, they're going to have to get something from Caleb Martin, right? And this is a great chance to boost and put him back in there. Not to start, I'm just saying, like, to get more minutes. So points would be a reasonable one for me. It's a plus EV leg for us at over 8.5 on FanDuel. I think that would be, of the ones that I see here for Martin, the one that I would bet the most.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. I think Caleb Martin in particular is a good guy for if you're building same game parlays, if you're looking for alternate lines, because his range of outcomes is legitimately not contributing to, if Caleb Martin gets going in the last series, the guy was, I mean, he was playing 40 plus minutes a game. It's not like they can't do that. It's not like the personnel has changed. It's just Spoelstra is going elsewhere. He's not going to go elsewhere if Caleb Martin comes onto the floor and has 6-8 quick points. So if you want to look for an alt line on a guy like that, I think that's the type of mentality you need, because he's shown against Boston. I mean, the guy was the best player on the floor for a lot of that series.
Not bad, not bad. Put that out there on a short, by the way.
You did, or we should?
No, I put that out on the Discord. I'm sorry. I forget where half of this shit goes out. But yeah, I thought Tatis hit one out too. Unfreaking believable.
Tough scenes.
That's a loud out. Here's the thing, though. Put this in there earlier. I want to get to KCP because he's a guy that popped, and Love. So you look at some of these props, smaller market guys that we have a little advantage on. To your point, I went 10 points for Caleb Martin, 10 points for KCP, which over 8.5. I stretched it a little bit, but I get it. There is a point of risk there that I took. KCP over 2.5 rebounds, which is our prop there, as well as Kevin Love over 5.5 rebounds. So Caleb Martin getting me 10 points, Kevin Love getting me 6 rebounds. Don't collide. This is not the worlds colliding right there. And I'm taking advantage of the one guy on Denver who you mentioned, didn't have a great game and needs to bounce back, but the one guy on Denver who has the smallest of markets in the starting 5, at least.
Yeah, again, KCP, he's out there for a lot of minutes. He's certainly not a primary option, but when you're out there for an offense like that, you're going to have opportunities. He just didn't really do any. He's 1 for 4 from the field in game 2. He's just got to be a little more active. Played 36 minutes, which is very, very healthy. So I'm fine with that. I like Denver. You know, I kind of not. This is not the lead, but I guess you could say I buried the lead. I like Denver in this game. I have not really had a big stance on a game in this series just yet. I like Denver quite a
Yep.
bit. I do think they're going to make it 2-1 tonight, and I'm going to bet them -2.5.
Wow. So you're going to take them on the spread right here.
I am. I think that they're.
Well,
This
why'd
is
you take 21 minutes to say that?
Oh, because again, I obviously that's a more efficient. You don't see that populating on the tool for good reason. That line is unanimous at -2.5 everywhere. But I was waiting for my moment.
Yeah, but I asked you in the beginning here. Like I
No.
was baiting you
Maybe
for a FanDuel boost that I could apply.
what?
Which, and by the way, last I checked, Casper Ruud handling business. So good
Yeah,
shout.
yeah.
On
Thank
that.
you. How about that?
Although he just dropped to whole rune 6-3 in the third after being up 6-1, 6-2. So he's getting a little cute right here. He was hitting shots between his legs, Ben.
He'll be fine.
Turning around, hitting a ball behind his head. Like, come on. Anyway,
yeah, maybe I would have mentioned the Nuggets on the spread earlier in the show if we weren't discussing what YRSI or whatever the hell these stupid acronyms are.
right.
Forgive me
because
for
the
not getting-
hierarchy of this company is
Good
that
point.
Shander needs to speak before Ben Rasa jumps in and says
It's
anything.
right in the mission
Right.
statement, man. I was in those
Right.
meetings. Right at the top.
Oh my goodness. You don't need to be Dave Lochran to know that's bullshit. All right.
Yeah.
Anybody in the chat understands already how things work here behind the scenes. Okay.
Fake news.
So I have a question for you. All right. Let's get into some promos here. But before we hit the actual promos, if we just can, because this is the one that's out here. And I know News God is going to ask if we don't hit it, right? Let's look at this. You've got a 30% boost on the player performance doubles, right? Which essentially it's a combination. Same game parlay. Jokic 30, Denver to win. You've got Denver winning. You've got Denver winning. So this is what I think we can do here. We could actually look at the tool and say, all right, what indicates that we can match something else, right? Like Michael Porter Jr., 15 plus Denver to win. Now, the return on these are probably not going to be ideal, but you're getting a boost. You're getting a 30% boost. So Jokic, I mean, do you really want to mess with a triple-double?
No, I mean, the beautiful thing about this is you're really, even though I'm fairly certain, even without looking at these lines, these on surface are negative expected value bets, and you shouldn't bet any of them.
Right.
With a 30% boost, you're going to move these into a really good spot for you. So I think you're able to really just incur how risky do you want to go. For me, looking at this, I like Jamal Murray 8+ assists in Denver to win. You're talking about plus 230 before the boost, something along those lines. Even you mentioned Porter Jr. I think he's got to play big today. He was by far the most disappointing player for them in game 2.
Do you think he's going to be out there? By the way, I think I found mine, but do you think he's going to be out there? Like, do you even think he starts tonight?
Do I think he starts? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, there was Eric Lindquist throwing out that conspiracy. I'm not saying it's aliens, but he's throwing out that Michael Porter Jr. wouldn't start tonight.
Maybe they do shake it up. I think he's a little too important. This is still a big time player for them. They've got pieces around him and they can do some other things, but I trust their coach. This is not a Celtics situation. So if not, we'll react accordingly. I'll tell you who will be out there. That'll be Jamal Murray. He's going to play as many minutes as he possibly can tonight. And if Denver wins, certainly he's going to have a lot to do with that.
No outs, man on first, top of the second. All right. What about the first one right here? If I took Jokic double-double Denver to win and applied the 30% boost, that gets me to an even money play. I think I really like that. Again, I don't know where I'm starting from, but I don't know where I'm starting from with any of these props. I'm just boosting them to push that through. But that seems to be a one that I would put a unit on, to be honest with you.
Yeah, again, that's you kind of structured that nice. You don't know where you're starting from because you don't have the other side of this. You don't have these at a ton of books, but I think you look at Jokic is a walking double-double. And if you like the Nuggets in the game, as I certainly do, I'm fine with that.
Can we, we have this channel on our Slack that's endorsements, right? Where it's like, we try to get all of you out there who are using whatever we're doing successfully, just so that we know and that we can continue to push it, because we want other people to know as well. So this isn't really endorsing anything specific except just the beauty of what we do on here outside of the tool. Can we take that Calvin thing and put that somewhere? I've only 2 bets in from this AM. Ben Rasa loves both of them and brought both of them up. Katz disagrees with one of them, so I'm feeling great. Jokic over 11.5.
I do like that. That
2.5.
Jokic over 11.5. I actually don't have chat up, but that's good to know, Calvin. I'm sorry. I was fiddling with the windows. I didn't have chat up today, but over 11.5. Count me in for Jokic.
Which
in
again,
Denver,
it goes back to this boost, Ben. Like, why wouldn't you play this boost?
Absolutely. I have no problem with that. That's where you're taking, again, the boost changes things. It's like a joker. If there were, if you're playing poker and you use jokers somehow, which would be quite a game. Like it just changes the facet and the rules when you can apply a boost like that.
All right. Before we hit these promos, give me your Mount Rushmore of jokers.
What?
Your Mount Rushmore of jokers. Like, does the joker on the deck of cards make the Mount Rushmore of? Does Jokic make the Mount Rushmore of jokers?
I don't think there's many jokers. If like you've got Joker, the guy, the Batman guy.
Yeah, you would have to whittle it. Like, I'm not doing a semi Mount Rushmore. You have to give me one joker to represent them all.
Okay, so Jack Nicholson Joker.
Okay, I'm not
playing card Joker.
Okay, Jokic
and Jokovic. That's a very good one from Full Metal Jacket. Private Joker. Didn't think about that.
Who do you take off though? Because I love Private Joker. That's a fantastic one. Who do you take off? You can't take the Joker or the card deck off.
Probably not. I if it was mine, I would kick off Djokovic. Not a fan of him, but
that's fine.
He is so incredibly good, and him and Alcaraz is as much must-watch TV as you're going to find. That is a can't-miss match if you like tennis. Oh yeah,
not
Joker
Alcatraz.
From Top Gun. That's not bad.
Oh, Okay, see, now we're getting into this. Joker from Top Gun over Joker from Full Metal.
So the problem is,
I don't know.
Who's Joker from Top Gun?
Like,
I'm confusing him with Viper. There's too many names.
Yeah, right. It's a secondary.
Yeah, I think Joker's that other guy.
No, we got to go Full Metal Jacket. We got to go Full Metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could think outside the box and hit me. Yeah, it's Jester. That's right. Who said Joker? Okay. It is Jester.
Who the hell is Joker?
Jester was Val Kilmer's partner, Air Wingman, right? Jester and
Iceman. That's Slider.
Was it Slider?
I'm pretty sure.
Man, those are some badass helmets, man. Merlin, all helmets. These dudes.
All about, even though I came up a little short in being a fighter pilot and a hockey goalie, so sick. Your helmets are just baller. Hockey goal. Did you see the Dallas Stars goalie had a Ninja Turtles helmet? That's what I'm talking
about. I thought it was badass and always loved that shit until I went to a school where hockey was like the big thing, right? And I had buddies that played, and they came back one night having just messing around about how they were. This one guy, the goalie, was being it's school. So like you get into it with somebody, right? And it was just like, yeah, this fucking guy, Tony, we were just pelting him over and over again. I was like, what do you mean you were pelting him? Just like, yeah, we were right in his face. And I was like, well, what do you mean? He couldn't do anything about it? And he's like, no, you're stuck with like the blocker. So if that thing's coming at your mask, you're fucked. And then this kid had this mark around his forehead for like a week and a half because he took like 6 pucks in his face. And I was like, you know what? I don't need to look cool after that, Ben.
Yeah, nice job. Way to get the hazing started in this country. Real good. Real good.
That's me.
All
right.
Oh yeah,
All right.
Jester's. Oh yeah, Okay. My mind is leaking over here. I'm gonna have to watch Top Gun. I haven't seen the new Top Gun, but
that's fine.
Yeah, it is fine.
I don't think
anything else
promos.
No, I know. I meant before. Yeah, I think we can go to promos. I don't have much else on basketball right now.
Well, we're gonna get to a couple things like Butler and Murray. 20 plus points each has been boosted to even money on DK. Jokic, 29 plus, Porter, 15 plus, Heat plus 2.5 goes from 700 to 900 on BetMGM. Sorry?
I don't know. There were too many, my concept that the more.
Yep. And I don't necessarily know if I like putting two things like Porter and Jokic scoring with the Heat covering.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Right. Do you like the Butler Murray 20 plus?
Well, let's see what we can find. 20 plus each. You're talking about Jimmy Butler, 25.5 at even money. You've got Jokic, 28.5. Combine. Yeah.
Who is it? Butler and Murray?
Oh, it's Butler and Murray. I'm sorry. I'm doing Jokic like an idiot.
Butler and Murray 20 each on FanDuel is minus 202 pre-boost.
But you got to keep in mind it's one-sided lines over there.
Correct.
So, but still,
but it's
not.
It's going to be one-sided. Like Murray's 24.5 and Butler's 24.5. So both are sitting at 24.5. So even DK's not going to offer you. I could try, but it's not going to let me parlay alt lines is my only point.
No, it's just you're not getting the true odds on FanDuel for those type of bets. Yep. So of course it looks good. It's just not the same. The real way to do it is to have a distribution that shows you like the value of each point. But looking at that, I think that's all right. If you think it's a higher scoring game, I think that Jimmy Butler, even when he doesn't have it, he's going to have to be active. They have no choice. And I trust Jamal. I know Murray on the road, and maybe he's not as effective, particularly from 3. But if you want to go there at even money, I think that's good. None of the other boosts I'd like. And then we'll talk about the up 2 runs and instant win.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. Right now it's bottom second. Seattle could not get anything with that bullshit leadoff runner. Gary Sanchez just holding on right now. Hopefully can draw this walk. I might be behind, so I don't know. Let's look at this. I actually looked at this earlier in the day. I don't know if this video came out, if anything came of it, but we're going to be doing some stuff for this, I think, particular, like this bet, because it's a great bet. And so long as it's up there, we want to take advantage of it. I looked at Washington, and I can take you through my thought process. If you want, that's fine. But my vote here would be Washington, Ben. The reason is because I looked at the first inning, and Washington actually scores nearly double runs per first inning this year than their visiting opponent. Again, visiting being the operative word. Both pitchers are pretty much a wash right now. Awful. Corbin can be sneaky early on, but like if he makes a mistake, he just unravels, right? But he can hold up. Like you can patch him together and he can take one step and then he falls apart. So I would take Washington as far as being up 2 in this game.
Okay. Yeah. Again, it's a healthy run total. I like that. I'm talking about a total of 10 there. So there just should be more runs to go around. I'm just going to keep, I said this yesterday as one of the suggestions potentially, the Colorado Rockies. It's a huge total. You're going to see a lot of runs. They're big underdogs. Big underdogs. You're talking plus 180 at home here, and they should be. I think the Giants should win that game. But if you're looking for that type of plus money ticket, that's where I'd go. In life, the Rangers, I keep betting. I bet them 2 days in a row. They just keep beating the Cardinals. So that's the other side of that coin. But if you want a plus money type, I'd go to the high run totals, something like the Rockies.
Phillies game's been rescheduled to Thursday. I imagine that's going to be the same for the Yankees and anybody else.
I would think so. Calvin, So it's a little complicated. It's certainly above my pay grade, but like a Poisson distribution, that's kind of the term. Basically, it's a range and a distribution of probabilities. So every time you move a line, there's, it's like a bell curve. And as you get to the more extremes, you're just weighing that against what the odds are changing to. So like an easy example is like a home run. Over under a half of home run. Think how drastic it would be if you move that just 1 to 1.5 home runs. I mean, you're talking about changing the odds insanely. Then take like Jokic's points, rebounds, and assists. Say it's at 51. If you move it to 52, it affects it a little, but not nearly as drastic because you're talking about 1 point up in that distribution range. So it's not something that is easily done, but that's kind of what you're trying to do, whether you're able to actually calculate it or at least estimate it is kind of the best way I can sum it up.
Speaking of home runs, we got a bunch of home runs to look at here before we get out, but our parlay nothing hit last night. Community did not hit. The other parlay that we built, a WNBA play, I think broke it up. Here's the thing though, as far as our other parlay, I mean, my God, that I don't even think one leg hit on the one that we built here on the show. And that's the one that's had the best stretch of success over anything that's been built on this show.
Yeah, so, well, it's been good, but yeah, the sparks, no good.
What are you gonna do? I mean, I'm up, so that's fine. That's fine.
Tough. By the way, you look like Raiden now.
I'm gonna give this league one more chance to watch. But if officiating is like what I saw last night, I can't watch this. I can bet it. I can set it and bet it. I'm going to give you all of the analysis. We're going to still hit these bets. We got the fever in the Discord last night. So if you were in the Discord, you lost maybe juice. I forget even if we had that plus money. So at worst, you lost juice 10 points. That's it. That's the beauty of the Discord is that we're giving them all out here.
Oh, my God.
But it was atrocious.
You got to be kidding me with this.
Yes.
What are you not reading chat?
I'm watching. I'm behind. Come on, folks.
Did Matt Carpenter hit a home run? Matt
Carpenter, baby.
Did he hit a home run?
Let's do it.
Did he hit a home run?
Or yes, yes, he did.
Wow. I swear to God.
No, it wasn't a home run, I don't believe.
Okay.
It was a single to shallow right.
Except the direct opposite
Gary
of a home run.
Sanchez.
Because I was going to say
Sanchez doubled.
He showed up on the tool, and I did not. I would have been actually pissed. Good job. You made me lose my train of thought. Hopefully, you all out there
had one. Let's cash it. Let's cash it.
Oh yeah, Kyle asked on the tools before all hell broke loose. What does hold indicate? That's basically what they're taking as the vig. It's a synthetic hold, which means it's not on one book. It's just like what is the best price on either side of the bet, and if you bet both sides of it, technically it's what you would lose. If you bet the same amount. If both sides were equal and there was no vig, the hold would be 0. Because it would be like minus 120 plus 120. It's completely balanced. So it's just basically that vig for the books.
Just be honest. Be honest with everybody here. Now that it hit, now that everybody's happy, now that a bunch of us here have come through, you were rooting against this. Were you not?
Oh, yeah.
You were rooting against.
Are you absolutely rooting against it? Yeah, sorry, not sorry. Bad habits. You just set us back even further. Yeah. I love the community. Don't want people to lose money, but no, I can't condone your antics. I was rooting for a run in the 7th inning. That was really where I was going.
I'm sure you were. Look, I'm in, I'm out. Let me get Tatis and I'm golden here. All right, so let's build a parlay, man. That was the thing of beauty. Look, I'm just happy that people tailed and we won some money. That's what this is all about.
I am glad, right? It's always a good day when we're taking money from the books. I'll give you that. I don't care how we do it, as long as we're doing it.
Oh, my. All right, what do you say here? I'm inclined, maybe FanDuel. Actually, we've got some options here. We've got some options. So do you have a book of choice for you? DraftKings? We can go BetMGM. DraftKings is a pretty good one, too.
Let's go DraftKings.
Okay.
See what we got.
Now, we have to remove that Bills-Jets total, unfortunately, Mike, because Ben won't let us slide that in there. All right, let's do this. Let's get everything out. Let's do that. Let's build from scratch, right? Let's build from the jump. Now, I don't think we need Will Brennan, to be honest with you. Minus 205 in the parlay. I don't necessarily think we need that. So let's just find an NBA play first. And then we'll build around the NBA. Is that okay?
Sure. Can I nominate Jokic over 28.5 points?
Absolutely.
I
Not
love that
Caleb
spot.
Martin over 8.5.
I would rather have Jokic getting a little better expected value. I objectively like that better. He's just going to be super active. And a further thing I'll say, again, the market checks out, but Miami seems to really be accepting the strategy of we'll give up 40 to 45 and let's not let him have 15 assists. They were not really trying to stop him from scoring.
Got it. Okay. Actually looking through this here, this is going to be tight. We're going to have to make this a 4-leg parlay. That's fine.
Oh.
All right, next up. Now we're pretty much just see through this with me, if you will, or see this through, I guess, with me. I'm trying to avoid the minus 205, minus 185 until the last leg, right? So now what I'm looking for, in my mind at least, Ben, is something that's plus, like Verdugo and Ohtani become targets for me now in this second leg to build. It's not going to determine what I do in the last ones, but I'm really putting that heavy leg at the end and looking at what I can do here. So look, I don't have any numbers. I don't have anything in front of me. Boston's on the road. I think we saw Biebs last night, right? So you've got Tanner Bibby in the house. You go from Bieber to Bibby in the house tonight. I think just fading Verdugo over fading anybody over Ohtani, especially Ohtani at home, if all things are equal, would make more sense to me.
I mean, it's not going to matter. It's personal preference because
that's all this is. That's all this is.
The expected values are basically the same. So you have the options to choose neither, both, or one of them. And I love that. That's one of my favorite things about the parlay builder. It says, here's the expected values, and you make your parlay. If you say I'm not backing this guy, just press remove. And it'll reflect it. So for me, I would put Ohtani in there, but that's just personal preference.
You would put Ohtani under.
Yeah, I would put Jokic, Ohtani.
Why Ohtani specific if you have the option where again, like I must have missed the specific reason. I'm sorry.
As opposed to what?
Verdugo.
Oh, I like Ohtani. They're both 1% expected values. So what's the difference?
I don't know. The X win, maybe.
Yeah, but that's just calculated in your payoff. So, like, just for an example, Jokic and Ohtani, right? Say you played those two. Your 2-leg parlay is plus 243, right?
236.
And then the other one is plus 220. So you're going to win it more, but you're paid out a little less with your guy.
Yeah, which is fine. And okay, so I'm okay with that as an approach overall. You're not. You would rather right?
It's
no, I don't think it's I think it's preference. It's all personal preference. It's not one or the other. It's just totally personal preference. But I get what you're saying. So let's keep Ohtani in there. That's fine. I looked at it from not an opposite or anything along those lines. I want people thinking that there's right, wrong, what have you. It's just a different approach to it. So that's fine. So let's keep Jokic and Ohtani in there. I mean, I don't love Brennan. That's a 4-1 parlay with 3 legs. I say it just to get a reaction now. All right, I'll tell you what, Ben. I'll meet you halfway. You put the Bills Jets in there. We'll lock this up. All right.
No, that's not halfway. Halfway. The old give an inch, take a mile strategy.
I tell you what, Mike. Just put the Bills Jets in there, and we'll just move on. Right, Ben? You're good.
Yeah.
You want to put who?
I'll just look away.
Put Brennan. No, Brennan's fine. Brennan's fine. Let's do that.
That's fine. Limited options.
That doesn't really move the needle for Ben, you know?
No, it's just it's just a weird. I don't know. I struggle with that.
You want to add one more?
No. I mean, we could.
You want to add Jaron
I don't.
Roberto Duran?
Who? What is he? Isn't that a boxer?
Oh, same game. Yeah. I stand corrected.
See what you've done?
Ooh, I like that Lopez play. I like that Lopez play a lot. All right. Here's my question. Last question for you, Ben, before we move on. Okay.
Mhm.
Would you be okay with swapping out Will Brennan for Pablo Lopez?
No, Pablo Lopez is basically doing nothing to the parlay. He's a wash.
Well, it's plus AV.
It's less than
yeah,
1%.
marginal.
It's very marginal. The other guy's 3%. So you're taking your bet. I mean, again, personal preference, but you're taking your best bet and subbing it with the worst bet in the parlay if you do it like that. So
When you
I
say
personally,
worst bet, though, it's not a bad bet. Like Pablo Lopez is not a bad bet at over 6.5 minus 110.
no, I mean, over time you'll win a marginal amount of money, but he's certainly a worse bet than Brennan tonight.
Right. You're just all right. So I'm going to add
Just because of the expected value. Again, it's the math. Like you can, if you see something else in the numbers or there's a different angle, but just looking at it objectively, expected value is the marker you want to use. Okay. I would say at least. Now I'm talking to, you're betting second inning, so you're working on a whole different level, my friend.
I am, but that's fine. That's
you got
fine.
the Pablo Lopez angle. What if we put them both in there?
Yeah, that's what Mike had initially, but no, because I don't want to just add it to add it. So that's fine. No, we'll keep it as is. We'll keep it as is. All right. You have slowly, I want you to understand something. You have slowly
worked down.
Seriously. I mean, maybe it's strategic that we're doing this later in the show that you think you can just slowly hit me with these body blows. All right. This is fine. This is fine. It's actually a really good bet.
It is. I like the look of this quite a bit. Yeah.
And we're assuming that nothing's going on in Cleveland right now, right? That we should be concerned about with.
I mean, I have no idea, but even if it is, it'll just reduce.
Oh, sure. I'm just saying with both of these, though. LA, we're not worried about, at least tonight.
No, I'm not a meteorologist, but
okay. Boy,
seems fine.
Boy. That's a good one. Community
That's not bad.
No.
Speaking of parlays, I got to find, because it looks like the Denver Nuggets, they ran away with the community parlay today.
DraftKings, yes. Super Coupe 30. Yeah. This is what happens when you give out a play. You totally influence the community parlay. I hope you're happy.
Well, I'm happy and sad. I wanted to take the Nuggets as my leg, but I'll deal.
Yeah, see, that's the problem, is that you knew this was not going to be a chance for you to play NBA tonight. You'd have to think outside the box.
That's all right. Your boy Casper Ruud is battling here.
Yeah, I did not want to bring that back up.
He's up 3-1 in the fourth, but it's not.
And he just had it. It was deuce, so he must have pulled through on that. Was that his serve, or did he break?
Well, yeah, he had to break at some point.
No, I didn't know if that most recent game. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. I assume that he's not serving right now, but maybe he's getting broke back. I don't know.
Boy, going under with Otani, you are a dangerous individual. Okay.
Never feels good, but it's fine.
Let's see. What do we have tonight? Now, where are you going for the community parlay?
That's a real good question. Well, first things first, I think Denver minus 2.5 is basically everywhere. Ooh, no,
that's 3 I see on DraftKings.
That's a lie. Oh, it's 3.
I'm looking at it.
Oh, wow. Well, this is good. Well, I don't know if there's 2.5s out there. I gave out 2.5 this morning on my video, but maybe this has moved.
It has moved. I just told you.
Oh, what? It's 3 everywhere? Okay.
I don't know if it's 3 everywhere, but it's 3 on DraftKings.
It's 2.5 at BetMGM.
Okay. That's wherever you want to go. BetMGM.
Yeah, I mean that just would make the most sense if you can find a
Okay.
play there. I'm just gonna bet baseball, so it doesn't matter to me.
That's fine.
All right,
So
to
we're on BetMGM.
BetMGM we
Okay.
go, friends. Here we go.
3.
What?
Julian, it was a 3-leg. Just reminding everybody, we did not add
Oh,
that 4th leg.
okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? Do you want me to go first here?
Sure. I need to see, since we're on BetMGM, if this is going to transfer over. My guess is it's not. Okay. Yeah, you go.
Okay, just give me 1 second. I want to just shop this and make sure that I'm taking the
That's
best
what I'm
line
doing.
again. I know we said it early in the show. I just want to repeat. Want people to be aware. The free trial is below. It's available 7 full days of all the tools that we're using on this show. Last week that you can get it. So if you are interested in that, please, please, please check it out. Let us know what you think. If you have questions, at Shander Show, at JazzRaz, DFS. Should I just keep going to the Rangers? No. I'm going to go to the Cub. No, that's lie detector determined. That was a lie. I'll go to Cleveland. Give me the Guardians minus 130 at home against the Bo Sox. How's that? You mentioned Biebs.
Bibby.
Yeah.
No, the Biebs was last night. They
Oh,
go
the
from
Biebs was last
to the
night. Bibby, Biebs.
Tonight's
I
the
confuse
Bibs.
all of them. You're just getting a good line there. This is moved to minus 135. The Red Sox, from what I've seen, they operate like a little league defense. They're throwing the ball into the outfield and whatnot. Nothing too good here. I just think the Guardians at home. I almost looked at them this morning, didn't get to them, but getting the right line on BetMGM is good enough for me. So I'll take them at minus 130.
Not bad. I can't do this. This morning I gave out over 163 on FanDuel for the Mercury Wings game on the Discord. You can see it. You can verify this. You can say, yep, I'm looking right at it. It was on the daily picks list. 9:42 a.m. over 163.5 Phoenix Dallas. It's now up to 167.5. So there's just no way that in good conscience I could give out this bad line now, knowing that we've dropped 4 points, especially because I don't have Penny or I don't have the same resources to work off this. I can just tell you, I don't have the time to devig everything.
Well, that's what the
So now
tools
I'm
are
back
for.
to square. Well, yeah, but we don't. That's my point, though, is that like the WNBA isn't. It's not up anywhere.
Well, it's coming fast and furious. It's just very difficult to find efficient lines.
That's my point.
Yeah, I got you.
That's all. That's all. Is that we've moved. So now, what do we do? We go back to the tool.
Back to the tools. Stephen Leibowitz, Gardens. About the worst of baseball. Or not great, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Again.
So I have to go baseball here, right?
Unless you can find another sport that exists. Don't worry, college baseball will be coming back soon. A couple days.
Let me see what that links line is. If it's still at 14, where are we now? FanDuel or DraftKings or BetMGM? This is dropped now to 13.5. I
like to see you work here. This is fascinating. I'm just going to sit back.
All right, tentatively, let's put up 13.5. Tentatively, let's put up Minnesota, but I just think I can do better here.
It's going to put the Jets in. Yeah, that's true. Like, don't do something terrible.
I could just tank it and go Kyle Tucker over 1.5 at plus money.
Take a side, live a little.
All right, let's take the Lynx plus 13.5.
Yeah, of course. Lynx, an underrated animal.
Now, I bet this at 14.5 in real life. This did not make the Discord because I was
not
confident about it.
I think they're endangered.
The Lynx? What are the Lynx? That's a parlay. That's a 3-leg parlay, folks. It's 4-1 crap. Get it out of here.
Who are the Lynx playing?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Well,
the New York Liberty, who just blew a massive lead.
Is that game canceled?
It's indoors.
I don't know. But if it's here again, you can't have people traveling to these arenas. Yeah, the game's canceled.
It is?
You sold them a dead parakeet.
So we'll just go back to Kyle.
See, my
Tucker.
man Norman, he's with me in New York. I'm with you, brother. I'm here. It's the sky is orange. Eytan doesn't respect. He doesn't respect what's going on around here.
Wait a second. Madison Square Garden is one of 2 arenas that has a subway built below it now with the Boston Garden or the new whatever the hell it is.
I seen it.
You don't need to get outside. You can go from the LIE to MSG on one train.
Well, what do you want me to do, fella? I don't make the rules. You want to go brave you want to look like Walter White walking into the arena? Be my guest. Wear a Bane mask to watch the WNBA. But
all right, we'll go back to this cat here. Where is he? For goodness sakes. The strikeout prop. Just had it. We're on BetMGM. This is painful. Painful. Jordan Lyles, Kansas City, under 3.5 Ks plus 115. All right. Now, on the way out, you ready for this?
I'm ready, my
Famous
man.
bugs for 2000. The venomous spider, Loxosceles reclusa, has a violin-shaped mark near its head.
Okay. Was that even a question or was that just a statement? Say that again.
The question is your answer. What is?
No, I know, but it's normally like this country, blah, blah, blah. You just said like there's a spider with a violin. Okay.
The venomous spider, Loxosceles reclusa, has a violin-shaped mark near its head. This is fascinating bugs for 2000.
Yeah, Black Widow.
What is the brown recluse? It was in the damn
brown recluse.
It was in the damn category.
I only know one spider that's venomous, and it's Black Widow. So I was kind of drawing dead there. Oh, look.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, you want to go double or nothing real quick?
Sure.
The arachnid with a
it's all spiders?
Yeah, I'm keeping it fascinating bugs for 1600. The arachnid with a paternal name emits a bad odor when disturbed. Oh, you
Daddy
know this.
Longlegs.
Look at that. How'd you know that?
Because I'm not a moron. That's why they got me on these shows. What do you mean paternal? Father. It was either father something or daddy. I got you, brother. It couldn't go 0 for 2 for the people, right?
We go from YRSI to Daddy Longlegs. Look at that.
We touch them all. We touch them all on this show, do we not?
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, and you could just show it real quick for everybody, Mike. Yeah, spiders are brutal. They're necessary, though. Real quick.
Are they?
They are necessary.
Don't get me started with one of these where it's like, oh, you remove 10 bees, the world explodes. It's like, really? Is that actually true, or do we just say that?
I mean,
apparently everything's vital.
Some pretty smart people actually put that together before M. Night Shyamalan destroyed it with some stupid movie. But here's the point. Real quick, Mike, if you can on the way out, just show everybody where we are for some home runs. We always like to give people some home runs. Let's give them a couple of home runs on the way out. We don't need to talk much about it. You can use the tool there. Another reminder, if you sign up for the week free, which is going away on Monday, you can do this on your own and search for home runs. All right? At JazzRazDFS. At Shander Show for me. And you're right, Chapman was up there, right there. Matt Chapman, by the way. De La Cruz, home run. Christian Walker, we got a bunch. All right? Ben, anything else? I'm out of here.
No, as always, friends, we appreciate you. Enjoy the game tonight. A lot going on here at OddsShopper. Make sure to check out everything we have on this channel. We want you to subscribe. We want you as part of the community. Get in Chalkboard. You want to talk to all the smart people in chat? I know a lot of them are hanging out there. It's a great group. So all that is below. The links are there. Not the Minnesota links, but the actual links to these great promos. But until tomorrow, friends, good luck. See you then. Spiders.